And here they are in person. We've got Cristiane and Renato. Hello.
Hi.
Oh, it's so great to have you here in the studio with us.
We are happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
So how was Wembley for you? Because that obviously was a fantastic event. But what was it like for the two of you seeing all those people?
She loved it from the get-go, because I keep joking with her that I'd never seen her greet the crowd. The way that she greeted the Wembley crowd.
The crowd took it out of me.
Yeah. They were lovely, weren't they? They were such a lovely
They were.
Uh-huh.
So what was it like for you? Because I know you've been also touring. You've done the Love School in other countries as well. Mm-hmm. How has that been compared to the UK? Is it sort of quite different? People quite different everywhere you go, or you get the general same response?
Generally is the same, because people, the problems we deal with, the love life problems, relationship problems, are very universal. Mm. And so in that sense, it's pretty much the same. What we found about the UK as we were preparing for this event was we know that generally relationships are going bad all over the world, yeah. Right? It's a trend. But we were shocked to find out the statistics in the UK as we were preparing for the talk at Wembley. And so that made it a bit of a bigger challenge for us. We were ready to face it. We were ready to make it really strong, because people really need it, considering what's going on in the country. You see the government trying to come up with the marriage tax now to try and curb the problem, but we think there's a lot more effort needed.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, like I was saying at the beginning, because all those people were there because they wanted to learn about love. Like I said, we didn't, that there wasn't much advertising about the entertainment. They didn't know about the prize draw, so I know they weren't there for those things. But they were actually interested to hear what you both had to say about love, because it is a major problem here in the UK.
Yes.
Now, what I really loved about when you were speaking, you were very open about your own problems that you had in your marriage. What makes you so comfortable just to sort of air everything like that?
Go ahead.
I've been doing that for quite a long time, and you know
Yeah.
it. I guess I think that's the best way to help anybody. When you know exactly what that person is going through with your own experience. You let the person identify herself or himself with you, because sometimes people they give so much theory. Oh, this is how it's done. That's how it's done, but how do you do it? And when you tell the person how it's done, how you did it, it's another thing. You help them much better in a much more effective way. So we like to do it that.
Yeah, I think also because people usually get it from the media, from TV, movies and stuff. They get the two extremes. Either they get the idea that marriage is this wonderful thing, and butterflies and birds flying over your head. Or it's this horrible thing. Stay away from it.
It's true. It's different extremes.
Yeah, it's these two different extremes. But what we're saying with our experience is that with 22 years of marriage, in the first half of this 22 years, we had our share of problems. We're saying to people, look, yes, it hasn't been perfect for us. It wasn't perfect for us. We went through problems, and by the way, a lot of people, this is much more common than most people think. All the couples, no matter how well matched they are, they will have their share of problems. But here's how we did it, how we turned it around. So it's effective, like Chris said, because people can relate, and we are also telling them how we did it, and it's transferable. What worked in our marriage can work in any marriage. And that's what has been resonating with people.
If we had people telling us of their experiences when we were going through these problems, we wouldn't have felt like we were the only ones, and that's
like
how
aliens,
I felt.
Right?
And that goes
Something
across
wrong
the board.
with us.
Yeah, that goes across the board, because a lot of people, they go through so many problems, and because they think they're the only ones that are going through it, they tend to kind of keep it to themselves, and they get really closed, and that's when they start to get depressed and all these other problems come. But it's so refreshing when people do talk about their issues, because then they can say, well, I'm not the only one, I can get help. If they did it, I can as well, which is wonderful. So now, at the Love School event, you spoke about, actually, no, I want to know a bit about the problems, actually, because for the benefit of those that weren't at the Love School, my commiserations if you missed it, by the way, because, I don't know what I can say to you, but I think there's a DVD coming out, and we'll tell you more about that another time. But tell us about some of the sort of main issues that you had, what caused it in your marriage, and then how you resolved them.
We married very young, and we don't say that that is a problem in itself. It can be a blessing, can be a curse if you're not prepared for it. But we married very young, and the problem wasn't the age, I don't think. The main problem was that as we got married, I devoted myself completely to my work.
Right.
And I kind of shelved Cristiane. And after having conquered her, which is a very common problem for men, they go through the courting period and they invest a lot into conquering the girl. Once they feel they've taken the girl to the altar and she said yes, they said, I've done it. My part here is done. What's the next challenge? And my next challenge was to prove myself at my work. And having turned to that, I completely neglected my wife. And then she began to feel that, obviously.
Did you realize that you were doing that, or was
No.
you just so into your work that you didn't?
I didn't realize that
You
at the
thought
time.
I was
no.
the problem.
I thought, what's wrong with her? Because, doesn't she? I was doing the same kind of work I was doing when I was single, right? So she knew the kind of work I did. She knew how demanding it was, and now I was thinking she was being unreasonable because she knew that going in. So
Yeah, but
How
then
was it for you?
before he did take the time to get to know me, to talk to me,
Yeah.
and after it was like, I know you already, we're married, so we don't have to invest anymore.
How did that make you feel?
Horrible, because I was 17 when I got married. So, and I had these great expectations because my father and my mom, they're married now for more than 40 years. And so I expected that when I got married, like that husband who would take care of me, would spare me from many things, who would just be lovely. And I got that for a year. I'll be, I won't say I never got it. I got it for a year. And then after
1
the
year.
first year of marriage, then things started going down.
that's because I
downhill.
couldn't work for the 1 year. I was mostly studying, so
What
there
you
was
would
more
have
time.
Yeah. So it was very bad. I try to use all kinds of things that women normally do, like nagging and then crying and then,
The crying thing doesn't really work, does it?
No,
Like, it annoys them
no, it
afterwards.
doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
I think we've all tried that at some point.
The nagging,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
sometimes we try that many, many times. We think it's going to work. At some point, it doesn't work. So I tried everything. And because he would always tell me, you married me this way. I was like this before. And in a way, we were different because I'm more the spontaneous kind, the one that likes to go out and have fun. And he was always more to the work, more serious, more focused. And I saw
You didn't seem like that at the love school.
I know, because it was work.
Because that's working. Yes, I'm more of a homebody. Like to stay home, and she likes to go out. So that was also an issue because since I worked so much, any little time I got, I wanted to be home, and that was the time she wanted to go out. So again,
He wanted to be home and sleep.
Yeah, this mismatch of expectations.
I mean, you laugh about it now, but obviously back then it was a huge issue for you both, wasn't it? I mean, you were in tears a lot, and
Yeah, it was a huge issue. I mean, one time he gave up. Okay, all right, I'll take you someplace. But he had this long face.
Several times I did that.
And he took me to the movies with that long face. I was like, oh, so what do you want to watch? I don't care. What do you want to watch? I don't care. I'm not really. So.
But it just goes to prove that it doesn't work. What a lot of people do is that they try to force the other person to change or to be the way they want them to be. And that doesn't work. Right, and I was wrong, no doubt. But she was wrong because she was trying to force her way onto me and make me the way she wanted me to be, and I also wanted her to be the way I wanted her to be. And that's where couples get at loggerheads because they keep trying to force their way into each other. They don't stop to learn that that's a different human being. You have to study that person. You have to understand their motivations, what drives them, their personality, and try to adapt to them, to try and live together. But of course, at the time, that didn't
and it doesn't
occur
mean
to us.
that the person's never going to change, because we did change. So it doesn't mean because the idea is like, if you don't do anything about it, you're going to suffer that difference for the rest of your life, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to go through that. It's just that you need to understand how to get what you want in a different way. Not nagging, not crying, not making a scene, because that doesn't work. You know it.
Yeah. Now, you both speak a lot about loving intelligently, so I'd like to know more about that. We're going to go to a quick break. So please do stay tuned, because what we're about to hear after this break is very, very important and could transform your love life. So do join us after this. Welcome back. So I'm still with our love experts, Renato and Chris Cardoso. Now they're going to tell us about loving intelligently, because that's something that you speak about quite a lot, because most people do say, oh, follow your heart, that's the right way, and do whatever your heart says, but you're dead against that, aren't you?
Very, very much. That's been the problem, in our opinion, with a lot of people and a lot of relationships. It's this message, follow your heart. Just imagine, to give an analogy, if you would jump into the passenger seat where the driver is a drunk teenager, right? You know how teenagers, especially men, love to drive fast, and if they're drunk, I don't think you would, right? But that's exactly what people risk when they let their hearts lead them. The heart just wants emotions, just wants the thrill, just wants the feelings, the good feelings. Doesn't care so much about the consequences. And when the thrill is over, the heart goes like, so what next? What happened? And it loses interest. And when people go into a relationship by letting their heart lead them, that's what happens. They can get very excited at first. They may overlook a lot of important information about the other person that will compromise the relationship later. And then once they get involved already, then that's when they wake up, or either the interest goes down, the emotion, the passion goes down, and that's when they start saying, oh, I'm not in love with this person anymore, you know, the chemistry is not there anymore, and all of that kind of stuff. And that's one of the biggest problems people are facing. So what we're saying is people have to love intelligently, meaning letting their head lead their heart. And when we talk about intelligence, what is intelligence in a basic meaning? It's information that you can use. It's information that's useful, something that can help you. So when you love intelligently, that means you look at everything about the other person, about yourself, and, for example, problems. You start thinking, okay, what can I do about this? What does this problem tell me about the solutions that are available to me? For example, we had the problem of attention, lack of attention, and jealousy that she had, insecurities. As long as we went against each other emotionally, we only fought. But when we stopped and learned to use our heads, we discovered the root of the problem, why she was insecure, why I was a workaholic. And then that information gave us the ability to come up with solutions. So we fixed the problem. And we fixed the problem in such a way that it wouldn't come back, it wouldn't return, it wouldn't happen again.
Now, you've written quite a bit about this in your book, Bulletproof Marriage. You had the book signing yesterday, didn't you, as well?
Yes.
How did that go?
Very nice.
I'm getting my book signed today. Can I?
Sure.
Now, you've actually compared relationships to working in a company. And that's quite an interesting concept to follow, because like you're saying about loving intelligently, that is actually like working in a company, isn't it? Can you tell us a bit about that?
Well, the main idea behind it is that emotions are the wrong tool to solve problems. No one at work solves problems by feeling the problems. Oh, I feel like I'm going to make a good sale today, or I feel like I'm going to solve this problem in the HR department or in the sales department today. No, you solve problems at work using your head. You collecting data, you collect intelligence, right? You think, and you come up with possible solutions. And you separate the feelings from the actions that you have to take. For example, beginning from Monday morning, a lot of people don't feel like going to work Monday morning, but they have to. They go. They ignore their feelings and they do what is right. And in a relationship, you have to use those skills. And the beauty of it is that they are already inside you, because if you are successful at any job, at any work, you already have the ability to separate emotion from intelligence. So you just need to transfer those skills to your relationship, and that's what works.
Don't take it personally every time.
Right.
Yes.
Now, at the Love School event as well, you spoke about rebuilding yourself, and you're actually currently doing some follow-up seminars about rebuilding yourself. Why is that important, and how does that affect the love life?
Well, a lot of people, they're not ready to be in a relationship, unfortunately. So if you're not ready to be in a relationship and you are, you have your own set of problems, and then the other person, it's just unfair for the other person, because you tend to put all those problems into that relationship, and it makes it even harder. A relationship by itself is already difficult. You need to adjust many things. Now, if the individuals in that relationship, they're not all right with themselves inside, then it makes it even harder. And sometimes people go from one relationship to the other thinking the problem is with everybody. But they don't know that they need to work in themselves first. And that's what we're doing. We have been doing on Sundays.
Yeah, most people in a relationship, they can only see the other person's problems. They can't see their own. And we usually say marriage problems don't exist. Why? Because what really exists...
Marriage problems don't exist.
Don't exist. What really exists are two different people with their own sets of problems, desperately trying to fix the other person.
Oh, that's an interesting concept. It makes sense, though.
Yes, because the relationship itself, the problems of the relationship are individual problems that are not addressed. And usually one tends to project the problems onto the other and expect the other to change and condition their own change to the other person's change. Like, if you change, then I change. And that's completely the wrong way of approaching it. So the idea to rebuild yourself is, if you think, for example, if you could tear your house down and rebuild it, if you had the resources and the opportunity to do it, you'd probably not build the same house. You'd probably build a better one, right? With better materials, better space, etc., to adjust to your current needs. And we've discovered that you can do that, contrary to what people think, that people can't change. Nobody can change. People can change. You can change yourself. But for you to do that, you need to be able to break down what you're made of, right? What are we made of? What are the foundations of our lives? What is the structure? What is the roof of our life? What are the walls, the pillars? What is the site where we're standing on? The roots that hold us together. So we're breaking that down in this 7-week seminar after the Love School event, and teaching people how to rebuild themselves.
Now, we've had the first two already, haven't you? So there's 5 more. Can anyone come along, even
Sure.
if they didn't go to the Love School itself? Anyone can go?
Anyone can come along. The seminar is happening at several locations in the UK. And we are inviting people to come with an open mind, because we are challenging them to think differently, to take a close look at themselves. And we're giving them the tools. It's not just a talk. We're giving them the tools. This is what you do. And it's doable. Right? Everyone can rebuild themselves and become better.
Do you have a website for that, for people to get more information?
They can go to theloveschoolevent.com, where they can also get the book. And we have the Bulletproof Marriage Facebook page, Bulletproof Marriage, facebook.com, Bulletproof Marriage, and the details will be there.
Okay. Now, one last thing before you go, because a lot of people are looking for their perfect match. Now, again, this is another myth in a sense, because I know it's going to shock many viewers, because people are always looking for their perfect match. So does that really exist?
As we said at Wembley, I was Mr. Right. Except she didn't know that my first name was Always. So you got to be careful when you try to find Mr. or Mrs. Right or Miss Right. So no, we don't believe the right person exists. Even, for example, she's not perfectly right for me. I'm not perfectly right for her. We all can look at the other person and say, oh, if he only could do this, or if she could only be different in this area. And that's why this person is never going to be perfect. There isn't such a person in the world. What there is the right things you do to make the relationship work. What we find is that a lot more people end their relationships because they do the wrong things than because they marry the wrong person, right? So we don't think there is right or wrong person. There is the right and wrong things you can do to make a relationship work or not.
So imperfect is the new perfect.
Imperfect is the new perfect.
Yes.
So I think that's given hope to a lot of our single folk as well, because imagine if they're just looking for that one person that's absolutely perfect, and they keep meeting people, going out with them. Oh, this isn't the one. They
And
go
who
out with
said
someone
you're
else.
perfect, right? We're all
Good luck
perfect.
with that. Huh? Good luck with finding that person.
Oh gosh. So do you think there's like hope for every couple, or do you think there's some couples that, you know what, it's just best to go our separate ways?
There are always cases that divorce is the only option, especially in cases of abuse or when one is intentionally hurting the other. At least a separation until they can work at their own issues may be necessary. So we know that there are certain cases, but unfortunately, in our experience, a lot more people divorce without really trying or having the right tools to fix the problem. They just think it doesn't work. We are not compatible. But it's not. It's just that they don't know what to do. And divorce seems like the only exit.
Okay, so before they even consider it, they should read Bulletproof Marriage, I would say.
Yes,
it's definitely
they
helping. It's helping couples everywhere, isn't it?
Yes.
A lot of
Feedback.
couples were
Yeah.
going to get divorced, and they read the book and they stopped. They're happy.
That's fantastic.
So we feel very proud as well.
Oh, you must
Very
do.
privileged,
That's
yes.
really nice. Well, thank you so much. I
Thank
wish
you.
we could have you on again. Well, maybe we will. Are you going to come back again for
We hope.
Love School next year, maybe, as we heard on the
Probably.
video?
2014.
Wembley Stadium next time, perhaps. That would be fantastic. Thank you so much.